Hey guys, it's Friday, which means it's time for another episode of Freebie Friday. This week we got two very different experiences. One felt more like reading a novel in class, while the other dropped me in a radioactive zone in Chernobyl. Let's get started with the first one. So Return to Ash is what I'd call an interactive visual novel. You play as a girl named Ash, who's been sick for 7 years. She wakes up in a hospital, but something feels off. The hospital is empty, no doctors, no nurses, nobody. Either I'm cured, or this is a dream, or I'm dead. Eventually, you meet a girl named Scarlett, and she tells you some somewhat unfortunate news. Listen, this isn't a hospital. You died. She tells you that you're stuck in a kind of in-between place, and the only way back to the living world is to meet Death. So we meet Death, who is surprisingly calm about the whole situation, and Death explains there might be a way back to the land of the living. This is where the story really leans into its themes like regret and unfinished business, and choices matter in this game. Hey Ashley, heads or tails? Tails, I wasn't asking you. Heads. Now, flip the coin. Tails, you lose. Now, here's where this game becomes very specific in audience. This is not an action game. This is not a puzzle-heavy game. This is not combat. It's reading. Blah, 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 blah. But throughout the story, you get dialogue choices that change the direction of the narrative. There's 6 different endings depending on what you choose, so make sure to choose wisely. This game really depends on how invested you are in the writing of it. I'll be honest, I struggled staying engaged with this game. It feels much more like an interactive book than a traditional game. But I can absolutely see the appeal for people who love story-driven visual novels and emotional narratives. When I played, I ended up escaping purgatory with Scarlett. But there are 6 total endings, meaning there's replay value if you want to explore different outcomes of the game. If you love emotional, choice-based storytelling and visual novels, then this might be your thing. For me, I prefer a little bit more gameplay. And speaking of gameplay, I've only moved and it's better than the game. STALCRAFT X is a massive online open world shooter set in the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. Think survival MMO mixed with post-apocalyptic chaos. Armed factions, radiation zones, missions, looting. It's heavily inspired by the Stalker series, but built as an online multiplayer experience. I hopped in and immediately realized this was a Russian game.
Время шло, постепенно все белые пятна были изучены.
This Russian? So now I'm fighting for my life and trying to understand what's happening. Oh, hey guys. It's gritty, it's intense, and it actually feels like you're surviving in a hostile zone, even if they do all look like Roblox characters. This game is huge. The Exclusion Zone is massive with different areas, factions, and dangers. It's also multiplayer, meaning you'll run into real players out there. And unlike the last game, this one had me locked in. STALCRAFT X is definitely more my style. If you like open world survival shooters with PvP and PvE mixed together, this is honestly a solid free pickup. It's chaotic in the best way. So this week on Freebie Friday, we had an emotional, choice-driven Afterlife story and a radioactive multiplayer war zone. 2 completely different vibes, both free. Which one are you playing? If you're enjoying Freebie Friday, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next week for whatever game Epic drops next.